Hi, I'm Wilson Cruz, and you're rocking with Rockmetal Inc.
We are here. I was able to find somebody special, actor Wilson Cruz. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. You're looking very dapper tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, this whole suit is like so structured, and it just.
I have to tell you,
Yes.
I kind of put it together. It's all kind of like pieces. This is H&M. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I love H&M.
H&M.
H&M rocks.
Zara,
Okay.
J. Crew,
The shoes.
Zara, and Alfani.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I went cheap.
Nice though. It's,
Yes.
you know.
This. And then I went and I got a.
They're
Brooks
Kachev.
I went a Brooks Brothers. A little high end.
Oh, okay.
I think the handkerchief actually cost more than the whole outfit put together.
Really? Okay. So we know that, for those of you who don't know, Wilson was on My So-Called Life. He was on Noah's Ark and Rent, right?
Yes.
Out of all the things that you've done work-wise, what project would you say is the most fulfilling that you've done?
The most fulfilling?
Yes.
Oh, that's like Sophie's Choice. That's like making me choose between my children.
Okay.
I'll tell you this.
Yes.
The only way I can really answer that question is to say, I know when I die
Yes.
in a million years, that I will always be Ricky Vasquez.
Yes.
That's who I am, I
Right.
will always be, and
Right.
I'm proud to have been Ricky Vasquez.
Yes.
And Ricky Vasquez opened the door for me to be and become and do all of the amazing things that I've been able to do.
Right.
So I will have to say that he is my favorite, but not because he was the most that I enjoyed it the most, because I enjoyed it very much, and I enjoyed all of my roles, but because he made everything else possible.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I know you're so outspoken. You're very open about your sexuality, and you do a lot of charities and stuff like that. Like, do you think it's like really hard as a Latino, in the movie industry to get roles? Like, because I know you have to fight 10 times hard just to be recognized, right?
Yes. I mean, here's the thing. Let's be honest. I'm the national spokesperson for GLAAD,
Yes.
an organization that I've had a relationship with for over 20 years. And last year we put out a report that we put out every year called Where We Are on TV.
Right.
And in that report, we saw that we had the most representation in the history of this report that we've ever done. As long as we've ever reported, we've done this report. We've had more representation on television.
Right.
But the one area that we still lack in, that we need to improve in, is in representation of people of color.
Yes, I agree.
So, the people who represent the LGBT community are white gay men. And so the thing that GLAAD is working on, and that we all need to be working on as a community, is that more representation of LGBT people of color and trans people
Yes.
are on television, because that's who America needs to see and to really meet and understand, because that's how we've changed the culture in the last 20 years.
Absolutely.
We've been able to tell our stories. We've been able to use the medium of the press and television and film to really tell the story about who we are, and now we need to do that with people of color and the trans community.
Absolutely. I know, like, a lot of things have been in the headline about marriage equality. What are your thoughts about that?
I think that we're on the verge of a very historic moment. I think that the Supreme Court will probably decide very narrowly as far as Prop 8 is concerned, but I do think that they will strike down DOMA. That being said, I, for one, don't think that marriage is the most important thing in our movement. I think we still, in 38 states in this country, we can still be fired from our jobs. To me, that's far.
There's more discrimination.
Yes, there's, when I think about employment discrimination, when I think about housing discrimination,
Yes.
when I think about
Receiving your partner's benefits.
yes, when I think about the trials and tribulations of our youth and the way that they feel about themselves, to me, as important as marriage is, I'm far more concerned about that.
Yeah, right.
That's people's livelihoods.
Right.
The fact that there are still our kids that are out there killing themselves because they feel lesser than their straight brothers and sisters, to me, that's far more important, and we really need to be doing a better
Right.
job.
But I think that there should be like an option that if you do want to get married, you should be allowed to.
Oh, absolutely.
Right,
You know,
right.
I'm not. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I think marriage is incredibly important.
Right.
Do I think that our fight is over when we get marriage? Absolutely not.
Right.
I think there's a lot to do in it for our community after we get marriage, and we will get marriage.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So I know you've been to a lot of these a Night of 1,000 event, gowns event. I mean, why do you keep on coming back all the time?
Well, first of all, the Imperial Court is one of the biggest unsung heroes of our community. The millions of dollars that the
Right.
Imperial Court raises from Canada down to Mexico for LGBT organizations and HIV organizations on the continent has really been unsung. Millions and millions of dollars that this service organization has raised.
Right.
And nobody really knows about that. Tonight, you know, they've picked GLAAD and GMHC as their beneficiaries, but every year and at every event, they choose LGBT and HIV/AIDS
Right.
organizations to benefit, and they have done an amazing job in raising millions of dollars, and also they do it with such panache and such glamour and such
yeah.
you know, baubles and
Like
beads.
elaborate gowns. and
It's a great
everything.
time for a
Right.
great cause,
Right.
and tonight, you know, they are honoring me along with
Yes.
a bunch of other people, including Marjorie Hill from GMHC, who's one of my personal heroes, and so it's a very exciting night, and I'm very, very honored to be a part of it.
Okay. And last but not least, like, what have you been working on? Any upcoming projects that you want to plug?
Well, I mean, you know, for the most part, I am the national spokesperson for GLAAD, and I've
Yes.
been working very hard on that. But I also have a film with Lucas Haas called Meth Head, which really deals with the
okay.
the travesty of crystal meth addiction in our community, and the film is really about how Lucas's character destroys his life, and I play his very long-suffering partner. Something
wow.
that I
Okay.
actually experienced personally, and that was heartbreaking, and it was something that was very important for me to tackle as an artist, and
Yes.
so look out for it. It's a great film.
Okay. Now, are you involved in social networking or?
I am on Twitter. I'm
Yes.
WCruz73. I'm on Facebook. I have a fan page on Facebook called It's Wilson Cruz, obviously.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm very active.
All right. And last,
And there's always GLAAD. You know, there's at GLAAD as well.
yes. Now, last but not least, what about a message to all the people, your fans out there that are watching?
Listen, I mean, I know that I'm fully aware that I am the luckiest man in this community, that I have been able to have a career as long as I've had as an openly gay man, as an openly gay Latino man. And the
Yes.
only way that that's possible is because of the support that my community has given to me. And I am forever grateful and forever ingratiated to the community for allowing me to do what I love. And if I can give back a small bit by representing them in the media, then that's what I will do for the rest of my life, because I know how very lucky I am.
All right.
And thank you.
Yes, we thank you for being like such a brave and courageous guy, and you know, you're just all the best to you.
Thank you, sweetheart.
All right, thank you
for
so
being here.
much. All right, bye.